The complement of an event. So the complement of an event is the probability that an event will not occur. So if you're finding the complement of an event, complement looks like this. So typically we just have the probability of A. So what's the probability you roll a 1? What's the probability you roll a 2? What's the probability you roll a 3? Well, the probability of the complement is now saying, well, what's the probability that you do not roll a 1? And it's found by taking 1 minus the probability of the actual event. So let's say I want to know the probability that on a regular die, I roll a 1. Well, that's 1 out of 6. So then I could say, well, what's the probability that I do not roll a 1? Well, if I do not roll a 1, then that's 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. I could roll any of those, which would be a 5 out of 6. So the way you can actually find that is you take the probability of the actual event using this formula, and you say 1 minus 1/6, which gets you everything that's left over, which then the probability of the complement would be 5/6. Example 4, finding probabilities of complements. So it says find the probability of not A. So in example A, if the probability of event A happening is 45% or 0.45, then what would the probability of not A be? So the way we find that is we're going to take 1 minus 0.45, which is going to give us 0.55. So you have about a 55% chance of A not happening. In example B, if the probability of A is 1/4, then the probability of not A is 1 minus 1/4, which is going to give us 3/4. In example B, which that must be a typo, so let's put a C here. If the probability of A is 1, meaning it is certain it's going to happen every single time, then the probability of not A would be 1 minus 1, meaning 0. And then last but not least, letter D, if the probability of A is 0.03, then the probability of not A is 1 minus 0.03, which is going to give us 0.97.